Hi everybody, this is Shantae, and I want to say welcome back to Healing in Place. I'm glad that you joined me tonight, and I just wanted to make a very quick video because I know it's Sunday, and usually Sunday for me was always a time of extreme anxiety because I was bracing and begrudging having to get up and go into work on Monday morning because I was in a very toxic, unhealthy situation, and it was really affecting me and affecting my my mental health. Things that I started to do as I started to learn about my nervous system, and a lot of times what's happening is that we are, we're in that fight, flight, freeze, or fawn mode, and we're going through the situations that may have happened during the week. We're bracing for the next thing. So you're always on high alert. And then when Sunday comes, you're super activated, and you're ready for whatever this person has for you today. And you're always thinking, what is going to happen today? Instead of going into your day in a normal state of mind, ready to conquer the day and tackle the day and do the best, be the best version of yourself in that day. When you're in toxic work environments, it's virtually impossible to do that. So one thing I want to offer you this evening as you prepare for your work day is just to focus on your breath. I know it sounds simple, and you may be like, oh, Shantae, I am breathing. Right, you can be breathing, but you can be breathing shallow. Like you could be, your breaths are really short. But I want you to focus on breathing and really breathing, right? Being conscious of your breath. That means, dropping your shoulders, untightening your jaw and letting your tongue lay in your mouth, or have your feet flat on the floor and just practice consciously breathing. Maybe, you can start off with some breaths. We could do box breathing. It's 4-7-8. So that would be breathe in for 4, hold for 7, let out for 8. Or you can do breathe in for 4, hold for 2, let out for 6. And you can do that a couple of times until you start to feel calm. Now, in that moment where you may be forced into another situation, you have the power of how you respond, right? We can't control what people are going to say. We cannot control how they act, how they treat us, what they think about us. None of that is in our control. But we can control how we respond. We can control how we react, and we can control our breathing. You have the right, the power to say, you know what? Let me come back to you on that. You know what? I think I need to step out for a minute. In the moment, you have the power right then and there of how you respond. Even if you take a breath before responding, you are more likely to have a better response. And I always like to use the phrase, can you explain that? Or I didn't quite, can you give me an example? Because a lot of times people like to splurt things out without any merit, so I find saying those two things are very, very helpful. I practice my breathing before I go to bed, and I'll take a nice hot bath or hot shower, drink myself some tea to calm my nerves, something decaffeinated, of course. And, I start to journal about how I'm feeling, what is my body feeling like, because I just want you to be aware of what's happening here. Because what's happening here, so you can only know when you're dysregulated if you know when you're regulated, right? So these are things that I've been practicing and that I would like to share with you, as I am a somatic breathwork coach in training, and I want to share this information because I'm the type of person who likes to share. Before you get ready for your day tomorrow, do some breathing, do some relaxing, ground yourself, and then as you go into your work day tomorrow, pay attention to what's happening in your body. Even when you may see the person and you may feel a pain in your chest. I used to get emails and my chest, my heart would pump. So that's your body. That's your body reacting. So for this video, I just want you to pay attention to what's happening in your body when you go into work. Or even when you're interacting with your family, we spend so much time at our jobs, and if it's an unhealthy environment, then it's going to affect every facet of your life. And then when you get home to spend time with your family or yourself, you'll be replaying situations. You may be angry, irritable, depressed. So what happens at work, it determines every other part of our lives. And life is too precious to sit and be miserable miserable all day. So I don't want you to ever feel like you don't have power. You do. Despite what anybody says, take it from me, you have power. So I want you to go in, have an amazing day. It's all about you. Ground and pay attention to that breath. Even when you may feel tense, breathe. Sense of taking intentional breaths that will help calm your nervous system down. I'm rooting for you. I hope your day is amazing tomorrow, and I hope that you are able to breathe and go and have a nice, easy work day. Control your responses and control how you react. And even if you do get upset or somebody says something that you don't like, breathe even before you respond, because that 30 seconds could make a difference. Before you send that email, or one of my hacks is I'll send the email to myself. Like if somebody sends me a funky email that I don't like, my immediate response is like, okay, if I send this email back, it's not going to go well. So what I'll do is send an email that I was going to send to that person to myself, that first email, because that's not a nice email. And then I'll read it, and then I'll be like, okay, that didn't sound too good, but at least I didn't send it out in the world. Then I will kind of reword it. And now with AI, you can type something in AI and say, hey, can you reword this in a friendly tone? So before I respond, let me think about what I'm going to say, because what I'm going to say the first time might not come out right. And then when I do respond, I'm doing it in a professional manner, and I'm checking you at the same time. So if it's detrimental to your health, it's detrimental all the way around. Dysregulated nervous systems, extra stress, cortisol, all lead to sickness. It has been proven. And marginalized groups like Black people, Black women, Black men as well, we have our disease rates are higher, and it's due to stress. It's stress by racism and stress by discrimination. That leads to sickness and disease. It's out there. The medical information is there now. You can look it up. So that's why it's extra important not to let people stress you out, or not to let a job stress you to the point of sickness. And we're going to have a special guest on this week, because I'm going to be doing interviews as well. A young woman that I know who became sick after working in her job for a period of time. And she said she was working so hard that she wouldn't take breaks. She eventually became sick. And she said she was fine, but the stress of that particular workplace and all the pressure that she was under led to her, what she believes is her sickness. I hope you have an amazing day tomorrow. And please like and share my video. Send it to someone who may be also experiencing issues at their jobs, and keep the conversation going. I would love to know if you really did breathe. So, were you intentional about your breaths? And I hope that you are, and I hope that it helps. So please let me know, did it work out for you? But once again, this is Shantae. Thank you so much for listening. Looking forward to bringing more content, and I don't take any view lightly. So if you did subscribe, if you do watch, if you do share, then I would just say thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really do appreciate it, because you could be spending your time in so many other places, but I appreciate your time. So please breathe, be well, and I will see you next time. Thank you.